Protests are unfolding in and around the Durban CBD this morning. This as the city is still reeling from the illegal strikes by some municipal workers under the banner of the South African Municipal Workers Union. Let's now speak to our reporter, Karinda Jagmohan, who's joining us from the CBD in Durban. Good morning. Thank you so much for making time for us. What have you been able to establish so far?
Good morning, Aldrin. Well, this protest that started in the early hours of the morning in the Durban CBD is led by students who are living around this area, also supported by the residents of this area, because they've not had electricity for the past 2 weeks. That's the biggest challenges. Now, one of the men leading this protest is a young student, Buntu, and he says that the conditions are quite dire, so we're just going to try and grab him now. Buntu, please, you were live on Newzroom Afrika. Tell us about why you started this protest.
No, thank you very much. My name is Buntu. We have started this protest because there is no electricity. Actually, for almost 2 weeks now without electricity in all YMCA, Togoza hostel, and also in the residences of the students. So we decided to take it to the street because we cannot tolerate to stay in the buildings without electricity.
You've also gone ahead to burn tires, block some of the public transport as well. What's the response by the police? I know you've just had a conversation with them.
No, actually the police, you know that the state is responsible for a class antagonism. State is responsible for one class to be oppressed by another class. And obviously, you know that police, they represent the state. So they were sent to come to intimidate us and to tell us that we must not demonstrate, we must not protest to fight for our rights. So they were intimidating us.
Tell me about how difficult it is to be a resident in Durban currently because of the service delivery issues.
So it is very difficult. It is very difficult to be here at eThekwini because Kaunda is failing us. Kaunda has failed to deliver a service to the people of eThekwini. So that's why we have decided to demonstrate even on the ground to ensure that we fight for our rights and we expose this corrupt Kaunda that is leading eThekwini under the ANC government. And the ANC government is failing to provide the service to our people.
Okay, Buntu, thank you so much for your time. I just want to show our viewers the state of the city around us, and what he's speaking about currently is right now the protest you're seeing, some of the residents of this area are burning tires, burning the refuse as well. But this refuse, this waste has been left here now for more than 2 weeks, causing a massive stench in the city. And this is because of the ongoing strike by members of the South African Municipal Workers Union who are calling for a wage increase. So I'm just going to also grab one of the EFF provincial officers right now who's come to speak to some of the students because the EFF is planning a march to the Durban City Hall this morning to try and get some intervention. Mr. Mongezi, Twala, we're live on Newzroom Afrika. Thanks for your time. You're the EFF KwaZulu-Natal chairperson. And I understand you're going to approach the mayor this morning. Just tell us about that conversation you need to have with him.
No, we've since written to the mayor and we're delivering the grievances and the demands of the people of eThekwini. We've been engaging the community in all the four corners of the region of eThekwini. There are issues everywhere. People don't have water, people don't have electricity. There's no reliable power supply in eThekwini. And there's no refuse removal. You can see the conditions here in eThekwini. It's quite clear that this city, it has collapsed under the hands of Kaunda, and that incompetent city manager, who's an accounting officer, who must ensure that the people get the services that they deserve in eThekwini. So we're heading there, we're mobilizing the community, because it seems as if this leadership is so pompous. They don't, they are not with the people. They don't see the conditions, that the dire, deplorable conditions that the people live in all the townships of eThekwini. And we are not going to coexist with such conditions. We are going to ensure that we are on the side of the workers, that are demanding the fair pay from this municipality, the salary increases from this municipality. So Kaunda must stop being pompous and arrogant. He must go out and address the issues, because those people, the people who are affected, is the greater and large community of eThekwini.
So as we also just show our viewers some of the refuse, the EFF has previously, or understand still works in coalition with the ANC in the municipality. So what is your party in eThekwini caucus doing about the situation?
We inherited a committee that has collapsed in eThekwini, where we in the verge of fixing that committee, when we diagnosed, there's a proper diagnosis that we are having incompetent officials here in eThekwini who don't want to be on the side of the poor. That city manager is so arrogant in such that he takes platform in funerals to address us on the issues of eThekwini. I mean, there are so many avenues. We do have public participations. If he has some kind of frustrations in eThekwini, he must go out to the public and explain his frustrations. But we employed him, we appointed him to ensure that there's service delivery for the people of eThekwini. So we've been trying to make sense to the leadership of eThekwini that the problem here and the diagnosis that we've made is the officials masquerading as politicians who sit and frustrate the service delivery of eThekwini. That is the diagnosis that we made when we were in the commanding heights of that committee. We made certain demands that we must fix this committee in terms of the leadership officials of that committee who were failing dismally to implement and execute all the resolutions of council and all the resolutions of the committee to ensure that the service delivery on the ground. And that is clearly what the ANC is failing to understand. Thank you.
So Mr. Twala will be watching that meeting, and thank you so much for your time. Mongezi Twala is the EFF KwaZulu-Natal chairperson. This protest continues. In the distance, there's a fire truck burning tires as well. Lungelo, let's also just take a turn here and show this element of this protest. But as this protest gets underway, Aldrin, there is a full council meeting today. It's happening virtually, and it's not being said publicly, but it is believed it's happening virtually because of the ongoing strike by the South African Municipal Workers Union, and that is of course because of negotiations to increase their salary in line with other metro municipalities in the same category. But as they do so, services has been disrupted in the city. That includes refuse removal and any workers who can come to assist with actually fixing electricity issues and water disruptions. They're not coming out because they might be targeted, or they're also part of this strike as well. And water tankers are also not going out to communities that have already been impacted by water disruptions over the years. This is the state of the Durban CBD. There is SAPS, Metro Police and the Fire Department around us, but we understand now there will be, or there may be, this meeting between the mayor and the EFF. They have demands that they want to put to him. Aldrin.
Thank you so much for that update there, Karinda. In the Durban CBD, as you can see, the violent protest that has broken out and the number of roads that have been closed there, barricaded with burning tires as well as the debris over there as well. And remember, Naledi, last month when the eThekwini Council had a sitting on the motion of no confidence against Mayor Kaunda, it was the EFF that was amongst the political parties that actually voted against that motion of no confidence against him. And now listening to what Mongezi Twala has to say about the leadership of the very same Kaunda.
Yeah.